Hello guys, this is part 2 of my comic collection. I haven't really thought out a name yet, but we'll think about that later on afterwards. So, and here, I'm just going to get right down to it. First off, we have the Superman Man of Steel collection, which is basically Superman comics from the time whenever I was a kid in the 1980s. And it gives like a little description here, and then here it goes. Then it jumps right off into the comics, and it just, looking at this just takes me back whenever I was a kid. I've recognized at least one comic that I used to have in this series. I have part 1, I have part 2, I think these are in order. Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, and Volume 8. And speaking of Superman, I saw this one at Hastings. I just had to pick it up. Superman vs. Zod. And I paid $9.99 for it. This basically came out around the time the Man of Steel movie came out. And it has comics featuring Superman versus Zod. And, you know, with these style. I like these style of comics. I think I like this style more than the New 52 style, the current style, because this is what I grew up on, and seeing comics in this form takes me back, and I like books like this. And moving on, we have Stacked Deck: The Greatest Joker Stories Ever Told. This was given to me by a friend of mine, Ray. You can see the pages are gold lined here. Let's just give you, there's some little brief synopsis here, and it's got like a lot of good Joker stories in here. Okay, and next up I've got Batman the Movies, and unfortunately this one was made around '97, so it doesn't have any of the Dark Knight trilogy movies, and it also doesn't have any the original Batman movies with Adam West, and I think his name was Burt Ward as playing Robin. What it does contain is the original 1989 movie with the Joker. Let me see this one. It contains the comic adaptation, of course. Batman Returns, right there. And Batman Forever, which, and it unfortunately has the one that we'd all like to forget about. If I can find it here. Batman and Robin. So, yeah. Speaking of Batman, this is another series I've recently started to collect. The celebration of 75 years. And there's a lot of good books here. There's the Batman one here, and these books look beautiful. First off, it's hardcover, and it's got stories from like the classic era down to the more modern era. It's pretty much a lot of stories from when Batman first began up to the current era. And the celebration of 75 years. They have one for the Joker, which a lot of there are stories in here that's also featured in here. So I've got some of the stories twice. There's one for the Flash, and there's some that I don't even have. I know there's one for Shazam. There's one for Superman. One even for Lois Lane. Surprisingly, none for Wonder Woman or Aquaman. Which I know they've been around for at least 75 years. They even have one for the Teen Titans, which has only been around for 50 years, so that's kind of puzzling that at least Wonder Woman wouldn't be concluded. She's one of the main three in the DC universe. Anyway, and I picked this up because my son is a big fan of the Teen Titans, cartoon show, and I recognize a lot of the characters from that show. I picked this up along with this one, the new Teen Titans. So maybe one day I'll pass these along to him. And I've got Crisis on Infinite Earths. This was a huge storyline in the DC universe and a big part of comics history. And kind of the Marvel version of that, which was Secret Wars, where Spider-Man first got his alien symbiote black costume, and the sequel, Secret Wars 2. So that wraps it up for this episode. Be sure, I don't know when I'll be able to do episode 3. Might be sometime around the end of this month, maybe even early next month, but keep an eye out, and I'll see you later.